Hi everybody, welcome to your second week of small group. I hope that your first week was a good one. I hope that you had a good time with your group and discussing some things about creation and God's place in creation, but also our place in creation. I really enjoyed writing that, so I hope you enjoyed listening to it. But this week, we're also talking about those same two things, God's place in justice and our place in justice. So let's dive in. First thing, again, I want you to think about when you see this word just, or you hear the word justice, what comes to mind? Think for yourself for a second. You got it? Okay. So I think a lot of us, when we hear the word justice, we think about this, the legal system, right? We think about judges, police officers, attorneys, speeding tickets, maybe for some of us. But this is part of the story, but it's not the whole part of the story. You see, when we talk about justice in the Bible, it means a couple different things. This form of justice that we often think about is called retributive justice. And it's the idea that if there's been something wrong done to somebody or an institution, that something needs to come up behind that and make it right. That there needs to be some sort of recompense for that. That there needs to be something that fulfills what was wronged, or who was wronged, or the institution that was wronged, right? So, for example, if I'm driving along, going 10 miles over the speed limit, and I get a speeding ticket, that's retributive justice. That was my fault, and I have to pay back because I knew I was doing something wrong, right? And this is part of the story, but it's not the whole story. You see, we're going to go into some Hebrew. The Hebrew word for justice is mishpat. And it's M-I-S-H-P-A-T. That's how we say it in English, mishpat. And this sometimes can refer to retributive justice, but it most often refers to a different kind of justice. And that's called restorative justice. And this is a huge theme in the Bible. It exists everywhere. Let's make that line nice and thick. So, restorative justice is the idea that humanity was created in God's image, right? That's where we all started. We all started on an even playing field, right? Everybody was created in God's image. We are all up here at the top, holding hands, made in God's image. And that somewhere along the line, humanity, as we typically do, we screwed it up, right? And we became like the animals that God made. Think for yourselves for a second. Do animals all exist on the same level playing field? Do everybody have the same advantages? No, right? The strongest animal will live and survive. The strongest animal will rule their pack or their herd. That's how animals work. And humanity became like animals. We said, you know what, that seems to fit my description. So if I have more power, if I have more money, more prestige, I'm actually going to push others down. And so what you have in humanity is you have several layers, right? And you have people that have more advantages, more money, and they're not sharing it. But also, on a more intimate level, they're not helping. This is not the way God created the world. We've done this to ourselves. You see, restorative justice is so much more than even just this. We can all acknowledge this and say this is wrong, but restorative justice, living this out, means taking steps to right this wrong. And it means even more than that. It means taking steps to go out of your comfort zone and advocate for the people on the bottom that are crying out for help. It means listening to them and not just pushing them away, and actually acknowledging the problem and trying to fix it. And it means even more than that. You see, there's a conflict here. Sometimes retributive justice and restorative justice conflict. Sometimes restorative justice says retributive justice is wrong. And you don't have to think that far back to figure this out. It wasn't that long ago before women couldn't vote, right? There wasn't that long ago before women weren't seen as equal citizens of the United States of America. Is that restorative justice? Is that putting them at an equal place under God? Absolutely not. See, so sometimes these conflict. So as Christians, we say, you know what? I'm definitely going to follow the law of the land, but this comes first. Are people being treated like the image of God? Jesus lived this out as well. You see, when Jesus came to the earth, he had the option of staying in places of power. He had the option of being with priests and discussing law and just living his life doing that. but he did not seek out retributive justice. He sought out restorative justice. He went to the people that were the least of these and restored dignity and honor and loved them. This is our mission, right? Whatever we do, whatever we see, wherever we live, we should be looking for restorative justice first. How can we bring people up? How can we help them be restored to the place and to the honor that they were given when God made them? This retributive justice should always be seen through the lens of restorative justice. People come first. I hope that that started a good conversation with you. I hope that put some ideas in your mind to talk about. I know this can be a touchy subject, but if you have questions, please reach out to your small group leaders, but also reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you more about it. And I hope that you have a great week. I hope that you have a great week with your small group. I love you all, and I'll see you next week. Okay, bye.